We are on the bottom of Nun Vav Amud Beis 56b by the Mishnah. Now we are a blot ahead. I've been instructed to keep it slow down. So much as possible. I'm from the East Coast and I talk very quick. Which is funny because I recently read an article that claimed that the quickest speakers in America reside in the city of Portland. Believe it or not, I do not believe it. Don't believe what you read. Now I know for a fact.
I read an article just within the last couple of weeks that changed that. We were like the second.
Second. Yeah,
suddenly somebody like is talking faster than us.
This is absolutely impossible. Yeah. Have you been to Brooklyn? All right. So therefore, I leave it to you to say again.
Unfortunately,
yes. Yeah. So therefore, I leave it to you, the wonderful audience, to pepper me with questions to slow me down. All right, let's start. Says the Mishnah, but I will try to speak a little slower. Says at the bottom of the Mishnah, the bottom of Mishnah 56b. Amar Rabbi Kiva, the Nastifnei Rabbi Lazar. When I was sitting in front of Rabbi Lazar and I was learning with him. Now, just to point out one thing, Rabbi Kiva is the one that held that the half a kav or 1/4 of a kav is not megaleach. We learned in the previous Mishnah that a Nazir only has to shave his head if it's 1/4 of if he comes in contact with half a kav of bone dust. But however, if he comes in contact with 1/4 kav of bone dust, in such a case, he does not have to shave. He becomes tamei. But in this special case, just for Nazir, he doesn't have to shave his head and doesn't have to shave his head. Now, Rabbi Kiva holds that's not true. He holds that the case of Nazir, like every other case of Tumah, even 1/4. Now, ma im etzem kisa'ira she'enim mitama adam ba'oyel. This we're asking sort of a kavachimer. We also previously learned etzem kisa'ira, which is not mitama person in oil. If I have a bone the size of as small as a kernel of barley, and it's in a home and it's in a house with a covering, and I'm inside that house, I will not become tamei. However, a kayin, a nazir who touches it, does have to shave his head. And on its touching and carrying. 1/4 of a lug of dam, which if it's in a house, it will be bin tameh, the person sit inside the house. And a dinshi nazir al magav al masai shouldn't be that for sure. For 1/4 revius of a dam, a nazir should be required to go ahead and shave his head if he touches it or if he carries it. So Rabbi Kiva wants to prove from etzem kisa'ira that 1/4 of a dam, and also I'm assuming also 1/4 of a kav, will be a problem. So Amar Li, so Rabbi Lazar told back to Rabbi Kiva. Maza Kiva in Dan Kan Mikava Chaimer. What are you saying, Rabbi Kiva? This is halacha l'maisha misinai, and we don't dan halacha. We don't learn out halacha l'maisha. We don't learn the halacha. We don't pull from halacha l'maisha misinai and apply it elsewhere based on a kava chaimer. Now the Gemara is going to explain what exactly is being learned from what. When I went and I said this in front of Rabbi Yeshua, Yafam, he told me. Amarli, he told me, Yafa Marta, you're saying the right thing. Ela Kain Amar Halacha. But the only reason he told Rabbi Kiva, it's a good kava chaimer. However, halacha meishim Sinai, and you cannot go and argue with it. Now we're going to turn to the top of Nun Zayin Amud Aleph, right before the end of the parak. So we're on the top of 57a, and the Gemara is going to go into this Mishnah. Fine. So the kavachimer that Rabbi Kiva wanted to propose was rejected because the issue of halacha meishim misina. Now, Ibailu, we have the following question: Etzem kisa'ira halacha v'vriyas dam kavachimer. Is it that? Good morning, gentlemen.
Greetings.
We are on the top of 57a, 9 Zayin Amud Aleph. We are right before the end of the parak. Says the Gemara: Ibailu, Etzem kisa'ira halacha v'vriyas dam kavachimer. Is it that the halacha that a nazir that touches a bone the size of a barley and he doesn't have to shave his head. That is halacha Moshe Misinai. V'yiristam kal v'chomer, and we want to learn from there via a kal v'chomer. We want to apply it from there, and then we say in dan kal v'chomer halacha, and then we say, but you can't learn out a kal v'chomer from a halacha l'Moshe Misinai. Ideal maybe it's tam halacha, maybe it's tam which halacha Moshe Misinai of esem k'saira kal v'chomer, and we want to pull out from there to esem k'saira. That's a kal v'chomer, ve'ein dan kal v'chomer halacha, and we can't go ahead and propose a kal v'chomer. We can't. You cannot pull from a kal v'chomer from halacha Moshe Misinai. So tashma esem k'saira halacha. No, I mean it's pretty open. We know that esem k'saira is the halacha Moshe Misinai v'yis tam kal v'chomer, and v'yis tam is what we want to learn. Ve'ein dan kal v'chomer halacha. And one cannot go ahead and learn a kal v'chomer from halacha. Even though Rabbi Kiva has a pretty good kal v'chomer to apply, that maybe v'yis tam is going to require a nazir to shave his head, but halacha is like the previous mission that stated 1/4 of a dam, 1/4 of a kab does not require it will become a nazir, but in a special case of a nazir, unlike other regular people, which will cause a problem, that he won't have to shave his head just based on the 1/4 revius or the 1/4 look. Okay. Hadron, well, I guess not me, but Hadron Alach Kayin Gadol. You have just finished the parak of Kayin Gadol. Now we're on to new parak. All right. For what?
Like you prayed for in textbooks in high school, lots of pictures every chapter.
Oh, in this parak.
I got it. Lots of it. Let's take lots of it.
We'll have to find out. Okay. Says the new parak. 8th parak. Is it 8th parak? Yeah, 8th parak. Shnei Nazirim. So now we have a following case. We have two. This is how the mission starts off. The parak starts off. We have two Nazirim, and Rashi explains that they accepted upon themselves Nazirus together. So together at the same time, they said it's upon we are going to go ahead and accept upon ourselves Nazirs. Now, now one person tells both of them, I saw one of you get tamei. I don't know which one of you are tamei. So now we're in a quandary. It's a doubt. Both of them are in a state of doubt. Which one of them for sure became tamei? We're not sure which one. Now, maglichin, both of them have to shave their head because it's a doubt, and they both have to shave their head. Now, Rashi explains, but it's only 1 aid. It's not 2 aidim. So why do we have to listen to this 1 aid? So halach is an aid echad is usually is believed. An aid echad is going to be believed, especially in this case when the two Nazirim are not arguing back. They're not saying it's not true. Or they just admit it to him. We know one of it happened. We don't know which one either. That's the idea. The idea is that no one's arguing and they're just informed and they're taking it as granted. There's no reason not to believe this guy. So now, the issue is that the overall issue now is how to go about being matar them, because you cannot bring a carbon, meaning we're not sure, but it's also simple to bring a carbon in doubt. So what's the easiest way to go ahead? Because one of them have to bring a carbon because he was tamei. So what do we do? And also the other one has to bring a carbon at the end of the 30 days because he's tahar, like a regular in the regular tahar process. So we say like this: so Amar, they bring 2 carbonis together, meaning both of them chip in for 2 carbonis. One is gonna be the tamei carbon for because one of them is tamei, and the other one's gonna be the tar carbon because one of them finished up after 30 days. That is, after 30 days, one of them actually finished their entire process. Va'amar im anihu tamei. So one of them say, if I'm the one that's tamei, carbon to mashali, then the animal which is represented for being brought as a carbon for someone that's tamei is mine. The carbon tahara shulcha, and the carbon which is being brought for the tahara process is other guys. The meniwat tahar. If I'm the one that was tahar, I'm the one that wasn't tamei. Carbon tahar shali, the carbon tahar is going to be mine. The carbon tuma shulcha, and the carbon tuma is going to be yours. So again, they bring 2 carbonis together in partnership, and they say over that one of them say, it's mine. If I'm tamei, this is mine, and that's yours. If I'm tahar, this one's mine, that one's yours. Okay, pretty simple.
What is that? Is that the end of the?
Yeah, the end of Nazirs. Right. Now,
It still doesn't solve.
it's not going to solve the problem for the other guy. Right, we're about to do it. No. So then we have to bring another carbon. So the Mishnah continues. The Sefer Shleishim Yom. So you have to wait 30 days. Umevin carbon tahara, and then you have to bring a carbon tahara, just one. Va'amar imani hu atame. If I'm the tamei, carbon tuma shali, then the original carbon tuma was mine. V'kom tahara shalcha, and the original carbon tahara was yours. But carbon taras, carbon tarasi, and this one carbon is mine because now I've just finished my 30 days. Va'ani atar, and I guess the other guy says that, or he says if you are the tahar one, carbon tahar shali, then the original, if meaning, first he starts saying, if I'm tamei one, then the original carbon tama was mine, and this carbon is yours, and that carbon tahar was yours, and this is my tahar. I'm fine. The maniwa tahar, if I were the original tahar one, carbon tahar shali, the original carbon tahara is mine. The carbon tuma shulcha, and the original carbon tome was yours. Is that carbon tahara? And this is your carbon. So again, so they have to bring twice. So they have to bring in the first time in partnership one. Together they bring two carbonis, and then one's for a carbon tar, one's for a carbon tame, and then they say they make the deal that if I'm the tame, then this is mine, and that's yours. And if I'm the tahar, then I'm the tahar, and the carbon tame is yours. And at the end they have to bring one together, and they say the same thing. That if I originally was tamei, then this is my tahar animal, and if I originally was a tahar one, then this is your tahar animal because I'm already done. I was done 30 days ago. Okay, that's how the Mishnah explains. Now we have to go on to the Gemara.
Well, they both done 30 days.
No, so the Rashi, no one really explained, but I do assume you have to wait 30 days. Rashi doesn't explain, but I'm assuming you have to wait 60 days altogether. If someone tells them on the first day that something that we're not sure and maybe you got tame, then they have to wait 30 days because you have to bring a carbon to you have to at the end of the 30 days Nazir brings a carbon. So we have to wait 30 days. Both of them bring it together and they say their deal, and then they have to wait another 30 days in case that's the original for the other guy who was tame the entire time for him to get his 30 days of Nazirs. Assuming that's what it is. It says the Gemara. Katani, we learned Shnei Nazirim Sha'amar. Now, just to preface the Gemara, to start the Gemara is saying that usually there's halacha that if we have it now, our case is a doubt. We're not sure exactly what happened. The halacha usually is in Tumah v'Taharis, and the laws of purity and impurity, that if someone is if a doubt arises in the halachic realms of purity of impurity, if it happens in a private property, then we go lakula and we say we're not sure, and you're tahar. If it happens in public property, we say that we're not sure, and you're tummy. That's the overall rule. Now we're going to have based on this, we have the following question. Ketani, we learn. That's how the mission started. So we had two people, we have two Nazir, and we have that 1/8, so three people altogether. V'mai call suffix tuma b'shus hayachid mehechayaf v'mai call sveika b'tumas b'shus hayachid mehechayaf. The issue is that every case of a suffix of a tuma b'shus hayachid, where do we learn that? So I'll just tell you what's going to happen. We're trying to prove that three people already gives us the halachic status of a shus harabim, of public property. So if there's three people, we'll give you the status of as if you are in the public property, and if you're in the public property, hold on. Okay, I won't get to Gemara's question yet, but we're getting there, right? So first of all, Gemara wants to know, where do we learn this halacha that if you have a purity and impurity in the private domain, it's going to be we're going to be lenient, and in public domain it's going to be we're going to be stringent. So first, just sayachid. So misaita, we learn from the saita ma saita boil v'nival afkos, that the case of the saita, we said that there were just two of them. So what's called the Rosh Hashanah? That's by the case of the Saita. Now there's only two. In our case, we had two Nazir. We also have the person who said that he saw it. So I totally messed up. I just realized. Originally I said that every doubt in the Rosh Hashanah is we're lenient. Sorry, every doubt in the Rosh Hashanah we're we're going to be stringent. So now, where do we learn out there's just a yachid? That's by a saita. By saita, there's only the two of them together in the room. Anything more than that would be shus harabim. So in our case, then it's the 2 + 1. It's 3. So in the shus harabim, if they're in the shus harabim, even though there's a doubt, they should be lenient. It should go air. We could be lenient. Therefore, we could assume that neither of them are tamei. Each of them can blame each other. I mean, we don't suspect that, and either of them. I mean, it's not that we're saying each one is other. We say whenever there's a doubt, we just clear the doubt. We don't even look at the doubt. So in this case, where there's a doubt, which one it is, we just clear it out. Now, I'm assuming they'll ask. The Gemara doesn't ask this, but really the truth is, the doubt here is not if it happened or if it didn't happen. The doubt is which one it is. That is a little different, but okay, we'll leave that for now. Okay. Did I actually say anything? Okay, maybe in such a case, it's still tell me. Okay, Amar Rabba Barafuna. So how does he go about this? Amar Isi Tuma Shinzarka Benechem. The case is that he wasn't right there in front of them. He was across the street. I don't know. He was in a different property, and he saw Tuma fly right by them and land near them. He just doesn't know, but he was far away. Amar Vashi Dekanami. We turn to the top of Nanzayim and Beis. We turn to the top of 57b. And not only that, and the proof is, he says, I don't know which one. Why did he know which one? If he's standing right there, he should have seen it. Not a very good umpire. He's got to see where it touches. And says no, because he's very far away. And that's why there's only 2 of them. That's why the halachic status of Rishus HaYachid, is always going to be stringent. Now, only thing I'll throw out a question, I don't know the answer. Usually from my understanding, Rishus HaYachid, Rishus HaRabim does not really make a difference if it's 3, 10, 20. I can have a party in my backyard with 100 people, it's still Rishus HaYachid if it's enclosed, right? Okay. So what makes a difference that there's 3 people here? That shouldn't change the scenario. The question should be, where did it take place? Did it take place outside on the street, or did it take place inside a house or on private property? So I guess when it comes to the laws, I didn't know this. When it comes to laws of purity, of impurity, when we say in a case of a doubt, Rishus HaRabim, Rishus HaYachid, it's not as we understand from the halachas of Shabbos. That's where you could carry. I guess Rishus HaRabim, Rishus HaYachid is defined by the amount of people that are there. I never knew that, but maybe. I don't know. You can look at the bottom of our article. Maybe he talks about it. I did not see Rashi say anything, and I don't think Places says anything.
Yeah, but I've heard that before.
Yeah, you heard that before? Okay. Okay, we shall continue. Right, just to slow it down.
Why would I continue? Oh, it's Rosh Chodesh?
No. We're just a little far ahead. So we're slowing. I'm talking slowly.
Slowing down. Oh,
All right.
hard to tell. No.
All right. Now,
Could one more time
Yeah.
clarify? So Rishus HaRabim, it's more lenient or it's less lenient? Okay.
so we say that Rishus HaRabim is going to be more lenient. Right.
Yachad.
Now, if it was just a rabbin, we should wipe it all away and say, we never saw anything, close your eyes and keep on walking. But since it was only the 2 of them by themselves, and just a yachid, we have to be stringent. And the truth is, we are stringent and they're both tamei. But our question is that we can't ignore the fact that it's a doubt. So both have to pretend that they're tamei. That's why they have to go through the whole process of the carbon. Meaning, if not for the karbanos, we'll just say you're both tamei, have a good day. Come back to us when you're done. But when you're playing with karbanos, you can't bring a carbon for no reason.
Okay.
Right? So therefore, we have to play the game of making the deal. Meaning, if I'm this, a tanai, you're making a tanai. If I'm tar, then this is mine, and that's yours. If I'm tamei, then that's yours, this is mine. That's overall. So again, really, we want to say, meaning, what I said before is really not true. But really, if not for the carbon, right? What I said before, I realized I'm not saying what I wasn't saying correct. Is that if it would be in Rishus HaRabim, we would totally ignore it, and they could continue on.
Okay.
Is Rishus HaYachid now? They're both tamei. And we look at it, they're both tamei, and we could say you're done with. Just there's a carbon issue. That's why how the whole Mishnah came up. Therefore, we have to make the deal. Okay, and right, you can't bring a carbon for no reason. You both can't bring a carbon based on a suffix. It's true they're both tamei based on a doubt. To bring a carbon based on a doubt, that you can't do because you might be bringing chul and bazar. You might be bringing an animal which shouldn't belong, which is not needed into the Beis Hamikdash, which is forbidden. Okay, So he said that in this case of a doubt, they both have to shave their head because both of them might have been tamei. Meaning, when you look at it, they're both tamei, so they both have to shave their head. Let's leave it at that. That's an easy way to understand. And they bring it, but it's based on the doubt. Now the Gemara is just going on to the idea. If you remember correctly, we learned 2 days ago that in a case of a doubt, we said which Gemara is going to come up again, where a Nazir is doubtful if he was a Mitzayra or doubtful if he was Tamei, mace. He has to shave his head, wait 30 days, and he can't shave his head during the 30 days because he might be a Nazir, right? And how could you shave your head if you're a Nazir, even though you're doubtful if it's required? So now we're going to ask a similar question, meaning, how could they shave their head? He might not require shaving the head because he might not have been tamei. And if so, if you shave your head, you're cutting your face off. That's a daraisa. How could you go ahead and cut off his head, cut his hair based on a doubt if it might be transgressing a daraisa? That's Gemara's kasha. Vamai. So second line, 57b. So we say Vamai, but why is the Nazir permitted to shave? Dilma lap tameinin. Maybe he wasn't tamei. The ka'aved hakafa. And he just violated the halacha. You're not supposed to cut the corners of your head. So the Gemara gives the answer. Amar Shmuel. This lost the place. Amar Shmuel. Be'isha v'katan. We're talking about that the Nazirim in this case is a woman or a child, who both the commandment of do not cut the corners of your hair do not apply. Now we say, but perhaps you can even apply this to an adult. Let us say it's an adult. And the cutting of the entire head is not called, meaning when you're not supposed to cut the payas, that's not going to be a problem. Now, the reason why it's not going to be a problem is because according to this reasoning, this possible reasoning, is that it's called rounding the head, right? Now, if one goes ahead and already ended up shaving his entire if he's yeah. So the meaning if you leave, meaning rounding the head is the idea is that you shave off, meaning you shave your face, but you leave the top of your hair still there. But if you're shaving everything off, some hold the halacha doesn't apply. You're not rounding anything off. There's nothing left there to begin with, right? That's what we're saying. Meaning the idea is that when the Torah said that you can't shave off your head, your hair by your face, that's only on condition you leave something behind.
Would they say it only in this case, or would they say it in the case of if somebody shaved their entire head anyway?
Anyway,
okay.
I mean the overall halacha, we don't pass like this.
Yeah,
we don't go like this,
sure.
right? Right. You can't.
I was just curious if that was what was being said then.
Right.
Yeah.
So, right, you can't be Bruce Willis.
Sure.
So this is an easy way out of it. We could say we're talking about an adult. Since you have to shave off his head anyway, there's no issue of pace. That's Gemara's question. Now, on that we say now, obviously, since Shmuel said that halacha must be by a child or a woman, he must hold that when it comes to an adult, the halacha is he can't shave his entire head. Because always you just could have said, we're talking about an adult, since he shaved his entire head, the laws of pace don't apply. So it must be Shmuel holds that if one shaves off his entire head, he still transgresses pace, even though he shaves everything off. Meaning the Gemara is not answering the question. We're just saying it must be Shmuel doesn't hold of that. Now, Mar Zutra, Masin Hashmaitza de Shmuel. Mar Zutra said over this statement of Shmuel, and Nazir Shayatame Misafik Misafik, in the case of our wonderful case of Shabbos that we learned, a Nazir who was in doubt if he was Tamei Mace, and he was doubtful if he was a Mitzayra. Now, if you remember, I'm not going to go through this again, unless you want to waste. We could burn the clock, but you have to wait. He has to wait 60 days. Remember that I'm a Nazir, and then I find on day one. On day one, I find out I'm not sure. A, I'm a Safek Mitzayra, without a Mitzayra. B, I'm also a Safek if I touch the dead body. In this case, he has to wait 60 days before he could become pure. And the Gemara doesn't say this part, and also 120 days before he gets out of Naziris. But during the 120 days, he has to shave his head, we said 4 times, once every 30 days. 30 days shave, 30 days shave, 30 days shave, 30 days shave. And now we asked, but again, we have the same exact question, which Gemara never asked over there. But we have the same exact question. How could I go ahead and shave my head in case of a doubt? And this is the case where he's doubtful if he's a Mitzvah and he's doubtful that he touched a dead body. How could he go ahead and actually shave his head? He's transgressing hakafa. He's cutting off his pace, and it's a daraisa, and he's only doing it to take care of a doubt if he was a kohen, if he was a Mitzvah, if he's a Mitzvah, if there's a doubt if he was a Thomas Mace, because as a Nazir he has to shave his head, plus the Messiah has to shave his head twice, nothing to do with Nazirus. Stam Messiah has to shave his head. So how could he shave his head in case of a doubt? So Amar Shmuel, Bishuv Katam. So Shmuel says, you're right. That crazy case of 60 and 120 has to be only by a woman or a katan.